February 28, 2026, Persian Gulf. Petty Officer Daniel Reyes stands on the dimly lit flight deck of the USS Harry S. Truman, boots planted against the vibration of engines humming beneath steel. The night air is thick, heavy with heat and tension. Even the sea feels uneasy, black, endless, and silent. Above him, the sky is empty. Too empty. Reyes adjusts his helmet, fingers brushing against the NVG mount. His radio crackles softly, then goes dead again. Around him, deck crew move with controlled urgency, no wasted motion, no shouting. They've rehearsed this too many times, but tonight feels different. Tonight isn't a drill. A jet roars to life behind him, and FA-18 Super Hornet, its engine screaming as if it already knows where it's going. Reyes watches the pilot give a quick thumbs up. No hesitation, no delay. Launch in 30 seconds, comes over the comms. Reyes exhales slowly. He wasn't supposed to be here tonight. He was supposed to be on maintenance rotation, below deck, fixing hydraulic lines. Instead, he volunteered. Or maybe he just didn't want to be alone when it happened. Because everyone knows, war doesn't announce itself. It just begins. Reyes, a voice cuts through. He turns. Chief Lawson stands beside him, face half hidden in shadow, older, hardened, the kind of man who has seen wars come and go. This goes live, Lawson says quietly. No turning back after this. Reyes nods, but his throat feels tight. Targets confirmed. Lawson hesitates. Just for a second. Yeah. Iran. The word hangs in the air like a gunshot. A distant boom echoes not from their ship, but somewhere beyond the horizon. Too far to see, too close to ignore. Reyes looks out over the dark water. Something has already started. Launch. The jet surges forward, catapult igniting beneath it. In an instant, it's gone, vanishing into the night sky like a bullet fired into history. One jet becomes two, then four, then a full wave. Reyes watches them disappear, one after another, until the sky swallows them whole. His chest tightens. This is it. This is the moment the world changes, and he's standing at the edge of it, watching it unfold. Then his radio crackles again, louder this time. Multiple inbound contacts detected, a known origin. Reyes freezes. Lawson's head snaps toward the radar tower, and suddenly, the silence of the ocean is broken, because they are not alone out here. The radar alarm cuts through the night like a blade. Reyes turns sharply, heart pounding as the steady rhythm of the carrier shifts into something urgent, something alive. Red lights flash along the island tower. Voices rise, clipped and controlled, but faster now. Inbound contacts confirmed. Bearing 085, speed high. The words hit like cold water. Reyes looks to Chief Lawson. The older man doesn't speak, he's already moving. Eyes locked on the dark horizon. How far? Reyes asks, forcing his voice steady. Close enough, Lawson mutters. Too close. Another jet screams off the deck behind them, vanishing into the black sky. But now the launches feel different. Faster, tighter, rushed. This isn't just an operation anymore. This is reaction. Possible drones. A voice crackles over comms. Multiple signatures. Low altitude. Drones. Cheap. Fast. Hard to track. Reyes grips the edge of a safety railing, scanning the sky. At first, he sees nothing, just endless darkness. Then, a flicker. Low. Fast. Skimming just above the water. There. Someone shouts. The ship erupts into motion. General quarters. General quarters. All hands man your battle stations. The alarm howls across the carrier, echoing through steel corridors below deck. Reyes feels it in his chest, a deep vibration that shakes something primal inside him. This is real. No more waiting. No more guessing. Burst of light tears across the sky, a missile launch from one of the escort ships. It streaks upward, then curves down toward the incoming threat. Seconds stretch. Impact. A flash in the distance, brief, violent, gone. But there are more. Too many? CIWS Online. Another voice yells. The Phalanx gun system, a last line of defense comes alive with a mechanical scream. Its barrel spins, then unleashes a stream of fire into the darkness. Reyes flinches as tracer rounds cut through the night, stitching the sky with orange lines. One drone explodes. Another keeps coming. It's closer now, close enough that Reyes can hear it. A faint, angry buzz, like a swarm of insects closing in. Brace. Lawson shouts. Reyes drops instinctively, gripping the deck as the world narrows to sound and motion. The drone streaks over the bow, and then detonates. The explosion slams into the carrier, a shockwave of heat and force. Reyes is thrown sideways, ears ringing, vision blurring as fire briefly lights the deck like daylight. For a moment, there is only chaos, smoke, shouting, flames licking at the edge of the runway. Reyes pushes himself up, coughing, eyes wide. This wasn't supposed to happen here. not like this. He looks toward Lawson, but the chief isn't where he was standing, and through the thickening smoke, Reyes realizes something worse. This was just the first wave. The deck is burning. Reyes stumbles forward through thick smoke, every breath sharp and bitter. The clean lines of the flight deck are gone, replaced by scattered debris, twisted metal, and flickering fires that dance in the wind. Damage control. Move, someone shouts. But Reyes isn't listening. Chief, he calls out, voice cracking. Lawson, no answer. The noise is overwhelming, alarms screaming, boots pounding, radios overlapping in frantic bursts. Somewhere behind him, another jet engine roars, but it's uneven now, strained. Something isn't right. Reyes moves toward where Lawson had been standing just seconds before the blast. His boots slide slightly on the scorched deck, slick with fuel or seawater or something worse. Chief, then he sees him. Lawson is down near the edge of the catapult track, half shielded by a piece of shattered equipment. His body is twisted, unmoving. Reyes runs. He drops to his knees beside him, hands shaking as he checks for signs of life. Chief, hey, stay with me. Lawson groans faintly. Blood runs down the side of his face, disappearing into the collar of his uniform. One eye opens, unfocused. Reyes, he mutters. Relief hits hard, but it doesn't last. You're hit bad, Reyes says, trying to keep his voice steady. We gotta move. Lawson shakes his head weakly. No time. Listen to me. Another explosion echoes in the distance, closer this time. The deck shudders beneath them. Reyes glances up. The sky is no longer empty. There are more incoming. Second wave inbound. A voice screams over the comms. Lawson grips Reyes' sleeve with surprising strength. They're testing us, he rasps. Probing. Soft spots. Reyes leans closer. We'll get you below deck. Corpsman's. No. Lawson's voice sharpens, urgent despite the pain. You stay topside. You hear me? Reyes hesitates. Everything in him resists. I'm not leaving you. That's an order. For a moment, time freezes between them. Then Lawson's grip loosens. Protect the deck, he whispers. If we lose this, we lose everything. Reyes swallows hard. Another alarm blares louder, more desperate. Multiple inbound impact in 30 seconds. Reyes looks at Lawson, then at the burning deck, then back at the sky. The choice stares at him. Stay or save one man. War doesn't wait for decisions. It forces them. Reyes gently lowers Lawson's head, his jaw tightening as he stands. I'll be back, he says quietly. But even as he says it, he knows the truth. He may not get that chance. The sky above erupts again, streaks of incoming, threats cutting through the darkness like falling stars. And this time, they're aimed directly at the heart of the carrier. The countdown disappears into instinct. Reyes runs. The deck shakes beneath him as crew members scatter to their stations, some dragging hoses, others hauling ammunition crates toward defensive positions. The air is thick with heat and smoke, each breath harder than the last. Impact in 10 seconds. Reyes drops behind a low barrier near the starboard side, grabbing a headset off the deck and jamming it over his ears. Where do you need me? He shouts into the mic. Static. Then, forward sibs mount now. We're getting saturated. Saturated. Too many targets. Reyes pushes himself up and sprints again, boots slamming against steel. The carrier feels alive beneath him, groaning, vibrating, fighting. 5 seconds. He reaches the phalanx mount just as it spins to life again, its automated system tracking multiple incoming threats at once. A young gunner stands nearby, frozen for a split second too long, eyes wide at the sky. Move. Reyes shoves him aside and grabs the control override. 3 seconds. The sky above is no longer dark, it's alive with motion. Small, fast shapes tear across the horizon, their silhouettes barely visible against the faint glow of distant fire. Reyes locks onto the nearest one. Come on, he mutters. 2 seconds. The first drone dives. Reyes fires. The CIWS erupts, an ear-splitting roar as hundreds of rounds tear upward in a stream of fire. Tracers slice through the night, chasing the target. Impact. The drone explodes midair too close. The shockwave slams into the deck, rattling Reyes' teeth. One down, he yells. But there's no time to breathe. Another drone streaks in low, faster than the first. Reyes swings the gun, tracking. Too slow. Port side. Someone screams. A blinding flash. The explosion hits the deck hard, closer than before. Reyes is thrown backward, his headset ripped off as he crashed into the steel. For a moment, everything goes silent. No alarms, no shouting, just a high-pitched ringing. Reyes blinks, vision swimming. Smoke curls around him, thicker now, darker. Then sound crashed back in all at once. Fire on deck 3. Casualties forward section. Contain the blast. Move. Reyes pushes himself up, his arms trembling. The CIWS mount beside him is damaged, sparking, half silent. He looks toward the center of the deck, and his stomach drops. A gaping hole burns near the launch track, flames roaring upward. Crew members are down, some moving, some not. This isn't a probing attack anymore. This is a breach. Reyes grabs a nearby fire hose, pulling it toward the flames with everything he has left. We hold this line, he shouts, voice raw, because if the fire spreads, if it reaches the fuel lines below deck, the entire carrier becomes a floating bomb. And out in the darkness beyond the flames, more shapes are coming. Faster, lower, deadlier. The fire doesn't just burn, it spreads. Reyes braces his feet against the slick deck, gripping the fire hose as it kicks alive in his hands. A powerful stream of foam bursts forward, slamming into the flames clawing out of the ruptured deck. Keep it steady, someone yells behind him. I've got it. Reyes fires back, though his arms already ache from the pressure. The heat is unbearable. Even through his gloves, he feels it biting into his skin. Smoke chokes the air, turning every breath into a fight. But the fire isn't the only threat. Fuel lines exposed. A crewman shouts from the edge of the blast zone. If it ignites, he doesn't finish. He doesn't have to. Reyes pushes forward, inch by inch, forcing the foam into the heart of the flames. Around him, other sailors join in, forming a desperate line against the inferno. For a moment, it starts to work. The flames shrink back, hissing under the chemical spray. Hope flickers. Then, incoming. Reyes looks up. Too late. A drone screams overhead, lower than the others. Faster, almost silent until the last second. Down, someone shouts. Reyes dives instinctively, releasing the hose as he hits the deck hard. The explosion rips across the carrier. It's closer than anything before. The blast wave lifts Reyes off the ground, slamming him into a metal barrier. His vision flashes white, ears ringing violently as the world spins out of control. When he lands, everything feels distant, muted. He struggles to breathe, chest tightening as he forces himself to move. Get up, get up. Through the haze, he sees the fire again. Bigger now, worse. The hose lies twisted nearby, spraying uselessly into the air. And the crew line. It's broken. Some are gone. Others are crawling, disoriented, burned. Reyes? A voice cuts through the fog. He turns his head slowly. It's the young gunner from before, face smeared with soot, eyes wide with fear. We're losing it, he shouts. We can't hold this. Reyes clenches his jaw, forcing himself onto his knees. Yes, we can, he says, though his voice is barely steady, because there's no other option. He grabs the hose again, dragging it back toward the flames. Every instinct screams at him to fall back to survive, but Lawson's voice echoes in his head. Protect the deck. Reyes plants himself between the fire and the open runway, raising the hose like a weapon. Behind him, another jet is being prepped, rushed, desperate. If the flames reach it, there won't be anything left to save. The fire surges again, fed by something deep below the deck. And through the roaring heat, Reyes realizes something worse. This isn't just surface damage. The ship is bleeding from the inside, and if it doesn't stop, it won't matter how many drones they shoot down, because the carrier itself is about to die. The deck trembles again, deeper this time, not from an impact. From within, Reyes feels it through his knees as he braces against the hose, the vibration rolling up through the steel like a warning pulse. Below deck, pressure spike. A voice shouts over comms. Fuel compartment compromised. Reyes' grip tightens. That's it. That's the kill shot. If the fire reaches the internal fuel lines, it won't just burn, it will detonate. Seal it off. Another voice yells. We can't, comes the reply. Bulkheads warped, won't close. Reyes stares into the flames. They aren't random anymore. They're feeding, pulling inward, drawn towards something deeper beneath the surface. Like the ship is breathing fire from its lungs. Reyes? He turns. The young gunner is back, dragging a heavy equipment case across the deck. What is that? Reyes shouts. Emergency foam injector. The kid yells. We can flood the compartment, starve the fire. Reyes doesn't hesitate. Do it. They move together, fighting against heat and debris, hauling the injector toward a ruptured panel near the blast zone. The metal edges are twisted, glowing faintly red. Too hot. Too dangerous. Hook it here, the gunner says, pointing to a cracked intake valve barely visible beneath the wreckage. Reyes drops beside it, hands shaking as he forces the coupling into place. The metal burns through his gloves, but he doesn't stop. Pressure's unstable. The gunner warns, checking the gauge. If this blows, it won't. Reyes cuts him off. It has to work. He locks the valve. Now, the injector roars to life, pumping thick foam down into the carrier's wounded core. For a moment, nothing changes. Then, the flames hesitate. They flicker, then pull back slightly. It's working, the gunner shouts. Relief surges through Reyes, but it's fragile. Because the deck isn't quiet, not even close. More inbound. Comes the call again. Larger signatures repeat, larger signatures. Reyes looks up. This time, the shapes in the sky are different. Bigger, faster, not drones. Missiles. Brace for impact. Reyes' stomach drops. They use the drones to weaken defenses, to expose the ship, and now, this is the real strike. He glances at the injector, still pumping foam below deck. If he leaves now, the fire could come back. If he stays, the missile will hit. The gunner looks at him, fear written across his face. What do we do? He asks. Reyes doesn't answer right away. He watches the sky, listens to the rising scream of incoming fire. Then he makes the call. Stay on it, Reyes says, stepping back toward the open deck. Don't let that pressure drop. What about you? Reyes turns, already moving. I'm not letting those things hit us clean. He runs toward the damaged Sibs mount, smoke swirling around him. Above, the missiles descend fast, precise, and stoppable. And for the first time that night, Reyes understands the truth. This isn't just an attack, it's an execution. The damaged Sibs mount groans as Reyes reaches it. Half the system is dead, panels blown open, wiring exposed. The barrel is still hot from its last burst. Smoke coils around the base like a living thing. Come on, Reyes mutters, dropping to one knee. He rips open the manual override panel, fingers moving fast despite the tremor in his hands. The system flickers on, off, then stabilizes just enough to respond. Not fully operational, but alive. Behind him, the deck roars with chaos, fire teams battling the inferno, medics dragging the wounded, jets frozen mid-prep. Everything hangs on seconds now. Missiles inbound 10 seconds. The comms scream. Reyes grabs the control grips, pulling the gun online manually. The targeting system stutters, struggling to lock. Give me something, he whispers. The first missile breaks through the clouds low. Fast, a streak of fire cutting across the sky. Reyes tracks it. The system lags. Too slow. 5 seconds. He adjusts manually, leading the target, trusting instinct more than software. Come on. Come on. He fires. The CIWS erupts again, a violent storm of rounds tearing into the night. Tracers chase the missile, climbing. Impact. The missile detonates midair, the explosion lighting the sky like a second sun. The shockwave rolls over the carrier, but this time, it doesn't hit. Reyes exhales sharply. One down, but there are more. 2 no, 3 cutting in from different angles. The system struggles to track multiple targets. The damaged mount whines, overheating. System overheating. A voice warns over comms. Reyes ignores it. He swings the gun hard to port, locking onto the next missile. Fires. Miss. The missile keeps coming. Too fast. Too close. Brace. Someone screams. Reyes clenches his jaw and adjusts again, firing in short bursts, now controlled, desperate. The rounds connect. The missile spirals, then explodes just off the port side. The blast slams into the carrier, throwing spray and fire across the deck. Reyes is nearly ripped from his position, but he holds on. 2 down. But the last missile, it's different. Higher altitude, steeper angle, smarter. The targeting system glitches, unable to track its descent properly. Reyes looks up, eyes narrowing. He sees it clearly now, a dark shape, falling straight toward the center of the carrier, toward the launch deck, toward the heart. No. He breathes. He pulls the gun up, pushing the damaged mount beyond its limits. Lock. Lock. Damn it. The system flickers. Fails. Manual only. No assistance. Just him. Reyes steadies his aim, ignoring the alarms screaming around him. 1 shot. That's all he gets. He fires. The stream of rounds climbs into the sky. The missile keeps coming. Closer. Closer. And in that final second, Reyes realizes he's not going to stop it. The missile fills the sky. Reyes doesn't move. There's no time left for orders. No time for fear, just the raw, instinctive refusal to step back. His hands tighten around the grips of the CIWS. Even as the system screams in protest, Reyes, fall back. A voice shouts over comms. He ignores it. The stream of rounds continues upward, chasing something that refuses to die. The missile drops faster now, its shape clear, its path certain. Straight down, straight into the carrier's heart. Reyes adjusts again, pushing the barrel higher, forcing the angle beyond safety limits. The mount shudders violently beneath him, metal grinding against metal. Come on, he whispers, almost pleading now. For a split second, the tracers connect. A spark, then another. The missile wobbles just slightly. Hope ignites. Yes, but it doesn't break. It keeps coming. Closer, Too close. Impact, impact. Reyes releases the trigger and turns. The world erupts. The explosion is blinding white, then orange, then black. A violent shockwave tears across the deck, lifting everything in its path. Steel bends. Fire explodes outward in a roaring wall. Reyes is thrown through the air. He doesn't remember hitting the deck, only the silence that follows. Darkness presses in, heavy and suffocating. His ears ring, drowning out everything else. For a moment, it feels like he's underwater floating, weightless, disconnected. Then pain crashed back in. Sharp, immediate, real. Reyes coughs, dragging in a breath filled with smoke and ash. His vision clears in fragments, flames licking at broken metal, sparks raining down like fireflies. He forces himself onto his side. The deck, it's gone. Not all of it, but enough. A massive crater burns at the center of the launch area. Twisted steel hanging like torn flesh. Fires rage unchecked, spreading faster than before. The injector line. He looks. It's severed. Foam spills uselessly across the deck, no longer feeding into the ship below. No, Reyes rasps. That was their last chance to contain it. Around him, bodies lie scattered. Some move, some don't. The young gunner, Reyes searches frantically, then finds him, barely conscious, pinned beneath debris. Reyes crawls toward him, ignoring the pain screaming through his body. "I've got you," he says, voice rough. The kid's eyes flicker open. Did we stop it? Reyes hesitates. He looks at the crater, at the fire spreading beneath the deck, at the sky, now eerily empty. "No," he says quietly. And then, a new sound. Not incoming, not explosions. Something worse. A deep, internal groan. The carrier shifts beneath them. Reyes freezes, because he knows that sound. Structural failure. The ship isn't just burning anymore. It's breaking apart. The deck tilts. It's subtle at first, just enough for loose debris to begin sliding across the scorched steel. But Reyes feels it instantly. A sickening shift beneath his hands as the massive carrier groans like a wounded animal. "List to starboard." A voice shouts over the comms, barely cutting through the chaos. Reyes looks up. The horizon is wrong. The ocean, once a flat black line, now leans at an angle that makes his stomach twist. The ship is losing balance. Flooding reported below deck. Another voice yells. Multiple compartments breached. Reyes swallows hard. Fire above, water below. The carrier is being torn apart from both sides. He grips the twisted metal, pinning the young gunner, and pulls with everything he has. The steel resists, bent deep into the deck. "Come on, move." Reyes growls. The kid cries out in pain as the debris shifts slightly, but not enough. "I can't," the gunner gasps. "Yes, you can." Reyes snaps. "Stay with me." Another deep shudder ripples through the ship. This time, it's stronger. The deck dips further, forcing Reyes to brace himself to keep from sliding. Time is gone. Reyes looks around desperately. A cutting torch lies a few feet away, half buried in debris. He crawls to it, ignoring the heat biting into his arms, and drags it back. His hands shake as he ignites it, blue flame roaring to life. "Hold still," he says. The torch cuts into the warped metal, sparks flying in every direction. The smell of burning steel mixes with smoke and fuel, choking the air. The gunner clenches his teeth, trying not to scream. "You're good," Reyes mutters. "Almost there. Almost." The metal gives. Reyes kicks it aside and pulls the kid free, dragging him clear just as another violent tremor shakes the deck. "Move," Reyes shouts. They stumble together, half running, half sliding across the angled surface. Around them, the crew is doing the same, some heading for lifeboats, others still fighting fires that refuse to die. Abandoned ship is not authorized. The comms blare. Repeat, do not abandon. The message cuts off in static. Reyes stops, because ahead of him, the deck splits. A jagged crack tears across the surface, widening with a deafening metallic scream. Flames burst upward from the gap, fed by whatever is burning below. The ship is breaking in half. Reyes stares at it, breath caught in his throat. There's no saving this. Not anymore. The gunner looks at him, fear naked in his eyes. "What do we do now?" Reyes doesn't answer immediately. He looks back once toward the burning center of the carrier, toward where Lawson fell, toward everything they tried to hold together. Then he turns to the ocean. Black. Endless. Unforgiving. "We jump," Reyes says. But even as the words leave his mouth, a distant roar grows on the horizon. Jets. Fast. Low. Closing in. Reyes narrows his eyes, trying to see through the smoke. They're not American, and they're heading straight for what's left of the carrier. The jets cut through the smoke like shadows. Low. Fast. Silent until the last second. Reyes squints into the burning horizon, heart hammering as the shapes grow clearer, sleek silhouettes skimming just above the waterline. Not friendly. Not here to help. The carrier shudders again beneath his feet, the crack in the deck widening with a violent tear of steel. Flames surge upward, lighting everything in a hellish glow. "We jump now," Reyes shouts. The young gunner hesitates for half a second, then nods. Behind them, chaos reaches its peak. Some sailors still fight the fire. Others drag the wounded. A few stand frozen, staring at the impossible reality unfolding around them. "Go," Reyes yells, pulling the kid toward the edge. The ocean waits below, dark, cold, and unforgiving, but it's still better than staying. A deafening roar builds overhead. Reyes looks up. The first jet dives. Missiles streak downward, slicing through the smoke. "They're hitting us again." Someone screams. Reyes doesn't stop. He reaches the edge of the deck, gripping the railing as the ship lurches violently beneath him. The angle is worse now, almost impossible to stand. "On three," he shouts. The gunner clutches his arm, shaking. 1. Another explosion rips through the carrier behind them, throwing fire and debris into the air. 2. The jets pull up, banking hard, their attack already complete. Reyes takes one last look back, at the burning deck, at the broken steel, at the place where Lawson fell. For a brief second, everything slows. This ship, this moment, this night, it changed everything. 3. They jump. The fall is longer than Reyes expects. Wind tears past him as the carrier looms above, massive and dying. Flames spill from its wounds, reflecting across the black ocean like shattered light. Then, impact. The water hits like concrete. Cold, crushing, absolute. Reyes plunges deep beneath the surface, the noise of war instantly swallowed by silence. For a moment, there is nothing, no fire, no explosions, just darkness and pressure. Then instinct kicks in. He kicks upward, lungs burning, arms pulling through the heavy water. Break the surface, breathe. He bursts out into the open air, gasping hard. Around him, the ocean is alive with debris and survivors, some shouting, some silent. Reyes turns. The carrier dominates the horizon, broken and burning. A massive explosion erupts from within its core. A final, violent release of everything it carried. The light is blinding. Then it begins to sink, slowly, inevitably. Reyes watches, chest heaving, unable to look away. This wasn't just an attack. It was the opening move. And somewhere beyond the smoke, beyond the horizon, the war is only beginning.